the Kate Smith Evening Hour. Presented by new Wonder Sudsing Babbo.
There goes Sink Smog, the guy who makes your sink look dull and dingy. He's being swept away by new Babbo, world's sudsiest cleanser. Yes, new Babbo outsuds any other cleanser.
That's why so many buy brighter, whiter Babbo.
No sink smog with Babbo.
The second half of the Kate Smith Evening Hour presents Jackie Gleason, Frank Yankovic, the Johnny Butler Dancers, the Jack Allison Singers, and here, once again, is your producer and host of the evening, Ted Collins.
You know, to start off this second half of the Kate Smith Evening Hour, let's go back almost 20 years to the year of 1932. And let's, too, go back to a song that Kate helped to make famous. For my money, I think it's still one of the very best things that she does. Now, the title of the song is It Was So Beautiful. So, Miss Smith, if you will, please.
Nighttime found us, happiness around us, church bell ringing, day is done, they'll be ringing when we're one. Evening's blessing, you and I caressing. Music, moonlight, melody, only there for you and me. It was so beautiful, so wonderful, so gorgeous, so divine, and you were mine, and you were mine. It was so beautiful, so marvelous, the stars above us shone. We were alone. We were alone. The time was right. The moon was low. I held you tight. Oh, how could I let you go? It was so beautiful, so wonderful, so gorgeous, so divine, and you were mine, and you were Thank you very, very much. Now, folks, when we arranged a polka ballet for you this evening, we needed some authentic music to go with it. So naturally, we went out and we got nothing but the very best. And that meant bringing in Frankie Yankovic, whose sensational polka recording orchestra is a regular feature at the Village Barn here in New York City. Now, when it comes to polkas, no one plays them better than Frankie and his boys. And when it comes to polka ballets, no one does a better job of that than Johnny Butler's ballet company. We've transplanted them both to a very colorful open-air setting for a very spirited polka ballet.
Hey!
new Wonder Sudsing Babbo. It's the best sudsing cleanser on the market today. Now you just watch Babbo sweep away that sink smog.
Yes, sink smog. That dull, gray, dingy film on sinks. Now here's what causes sink smog. If you looked under a magnifying glass, you would see that even the finest porcelain has millions of tiny pits. And that's where you find...
Sink smog. I'm the guy who makes your sink look dull and dingy. I gather up grease, food particles. I fill up the porcelain pits and give ladies terrible fits. She's going to try and get rid of me with an ordinary cleanser. Ordinary cleansers can't clean me away when they don't get down here where I stay.
That's why you ought to try Babbo. That's why you ought to buy Babbo. That's why so many, many, many use brighter, whiter Babbo.
Yes, Babbo's power-packed suds work down into those porcelain pits. Sweep away sink smog in seconds. Babbo cleans your sink brighter, whiter than any other cleanser in the world.
Such a clean fragrance, too. That's why so many, many, many buy brighter, whiter Babbo.
No sink smog with Babbo.
You know, about 12 years ago, I happened to be dining in a certain New York cafe. And in the floor show was a very clever young man by the name of Jackie Gleason. Well, I thought that he showed a great deal of promise, and I signed him for several appearances on Kate's radio show. Now, as I remember, he did very well by us in those appearances. As a matter of fact, the guy was very sensational. Well, of course, Jackie's star has continued to ascend ever since those days. He now has his own great big television show, and I hear he is negotiating a very fabulous new contract for himself next year with NBC. So, you see, it's with a great deal of special pride, and a great deal more than that. It's because he's a very good friend of mine, and it's because I think he's a very terrific guy. And he's the star of Cavalcade of Stars, his own program, so we're going to bring him back once more to the Kate Smith Hour. Now, tonight he's going to do a sketch that's by Joe Bigelow, Harry Crane, and Jackie himself. So, ladies and gentlemen, the new star of television, Jackie Gleason. Mr. Gleason.
Through the years, audiences have been entranced by such horror movies as Frankenstein, Dracula, The Wolfman, and recently, The Thing. Tonight, we present the sequel to The Thing with Jackie Gleason. The Son of the Thing.
That's gin, Dave. Well, I guess this just isn't my day, Everett.
I wonder what's keeping Colonel Drexel and his men. They've been gone for hours.
Why they went out in the first place is beyond me. They haven't found Professor Chatsworth by now, they never will. Even if he did run into trouble, the cold or lack of food would have finished him.
I gotta go along with you on that, Shelley. No man could exist for 6 months out there on those Arctic wastes.
I think you men are forgetting something. I don't believe the elements got him at all.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean.
Oh, you're not coming up with that worn-out theory about the Thing getting him, are you? I told you before I saw that horrible monster destroyed myself. By 3 million volts of electricity with my own eyes.
I'm not talking about that monster.
Well, what are you talking about?
What I'm trying to say is that it's quite possible for the Thing to have had an offspring. A son, perhaps.
Oh, come on.
Stop.
Now, don't poo-poo the idea. Remember, Professor Chatsworth himself told us that he planted a culture taken from the Thing's arm and that it was flourishing and growing quite well.
Why don't you stop that? Attention!
At ease, men.
Any luck, Colonel?
No, I'm afraid it's hopeless. Covered the entire area. Made an absolute thorough search. It's my opinion.
Sir.
Yes.
Jackson?
Yes, Private.
Message just came in over the wire for you, sir.
Thank you. News. Discontinue search. Return to home base immediately. Official orders awaiting your arrival. And it looks like we're going to get a hold. Wait a minute.
What's the matter?
Where's Fenwick? Fenwick!
Didn't think anybody knew me up here in the North Pole.
Fenwick, you mind telling me where you've been? You've been gone all day long.
Well, I took the dogs for a walk up to the North Pole.
Fenwick, we're all about ready to leave.
Good, I'll pack.
Just a minute. We're leaving. You're staying. You've been nothing but trouble since we left the States. On our way up here in the submarine, you almost got us all drowned. You insisted on sleeping with the windows open. You're staying here to guard this valuable equipment.
Yeah, but
and
what?
it will also give you an opportunity to continue with your dancing lessons. All right, man, let's go on the double. Please, come on. Everybody. On the double.
Why do you leave me?
Good luck to your dancing
On the
lessons,
double.
Oh, good luck, boy.
Night. Happy one step.
Yeah, good night, Ron.
Henrik, this is it. But chin up. There'll be a man here to relieve you in the spring.
Turn up! Have the rights in the cheek. Hell, go to limousine. I love you, another king. You'll always win. I love you, no time. All right, men, this is it. We're going to see action now. More action than you've ever seen. We're going to start rolling. And once we begin to roll, we're not going to stop rolling. All right, you, Johnson, get out the dice. I love it. My Aunt the Murray dancing lessons. Drummy boy, I love you. Jum, 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 jum. Drum.
Well, folks, we like the new Babbo better than any other cleanser in the world at our house. Babbo makes grease and grime disappear, well, just like magic. When sink smog appears, it's to the rescue with Babbo.
Here's how John Smith was saved by Pocahontas and new Babbo, world's sudsiest cleanser.
Oh, Pocahontas worked so hard she couldn't see in her backyard. The Captain Smith was in distress.
While she was stuck with Sink Smog's mess.
Too bad she didn't have Babbo, so sad she didn't have Babbo.
Poor John, he was wishing she could have
brighter, whiter Babbo.
Then appeared a medicine man who said,
the cure is in this can.
Babbo's Power Pack Suds Papoose
will make old Sink Smog vamoose.
Yes, Babbo's Power Pack Suds sweep away zinc smog in seconds.
Babbo saved me. Now I'm free to save John Smith. That's why so many my brighter, whiter Babbo.
No Sink Smog with Babbo.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, Kate has sung many songs over the years which are very dear to her, and which I think have a very special significance for her. But I think one of the greatest thrills that she has ever had personally was the first time that she sang a song written especially for her by a United States Marine. It was at Quantico, Virginia, in the year of 1944, during the bitterest stages of the Pacific War, when the Marines were constantly pitted against tremendous odds. That Kate had the privilege of voicing this young Marine's sentiments in song, a song which spoke for all Marines, and not in the tin pan alley niceties, but in the tough and the earthy idiom that is native to the United States Marine Corps, in words that may not draw pretty pictures about moon or June, but in words that nevertheless do create a kind of beauty, the beauty that is to be found in democratic men's souls, no matter how brutal the actual circumstances which the words describe. Kate sang this song many times after that, during the 51,000 miles that she traveled to entertain our servicemen. And so it is with a great pride I know that she sings it now, in company with some of the men to whom it is dedicated. Here then is Kate, together with representatives of the greatest fighting force on earth, the United States Marines, singing Ode to a Marine.
The tightening of the belt when the rations are low, and his open eyes slumber lest muster should blow. It's his feverish thirst when the Lister bag's shot, his pals smelling filth when water is not. It's his conquest of darkness and barbed wire fence, and dodging the shrapnel with breathless suspense. It's his going through hell to find victory. And at last, as he watches the enemy flee, and the red, white, and blue wave his well over sea. It's that lump in his throat that makes a
The second half of the Kate Smith Evening Hour was brought to you by new Wonder Sudsing Babble, the world's sudsiest cleanser. Tune in next week when the Kate Smith Evening Hour will be brought to you by Congolium Nairn and Norge over most of these same stations.
NBC Television.